Welcome back, guys. And
We were hyped. I mean, the amount of let's goes that were sent back and forth is crazy.
I think this trade kind of shocked us a little. It kind of shocked me.
super exciting.
That's kind of hard to believe.
Let's get hyped and let's get into the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. We are back with another video. First things first, the giveaway of the Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead has been completed. Thanks to everyone who entered in. Winner will be announced on our Instagram, and we will be getting that bobblehead over to you. We already picked a winner. We'll be DMing you if you won. Thank you. Let's get right into Mariners here.
Yeah, so obviously there's been kind of an ups and downs going from the sweep of the Astros to then the Rangers series where we won, and then following up with a loss of it. Yeah, the Padres getting swept, as well as the Athletics series that just wrapped up, taking only 1 of 3 against the Athletics. Mind you, the first place Athletics. So there's definitely been some things we got to talk about, but let's go over the new roster updates for the time being. Brendan Donovan, yet again, is out of the lineup and actually hits the IL for his first time this year with some groin discomfort. I know you're big on the guy that came up for him, Will Wilson. So let's cover that really quick.
I called it in an earlier video during spring training.
You did.
We talked about who were guys to watch. I said Will Wilson. He obviously didn't make the team, but he went down to Tacoma. He played well. He played really well in spring training. That's why I had my eye on him. Now he's up with the Mariners. I'm going to call it right now. When he gets his opportunity, they better give him an opportunity. I think he's gonna show out a little bit. He's gonna go crazy if he gets that opportunity. I don't see why they can't put him in over Leo Rivas or something. I mean, give him a chance.
I know. Leo Rivas, he's had his moments. He definitely has his contributions. But at this point, what do you have to lose to throw Will Wilson at third base a little bit? He played third plenty in Tacoma. He's a 27-year-old rookie, a former first-round pick. Give him a shot, guys. Why not?
Yeah, seriously. Sounds like he just hasn't gotten his opportunity, but he's going to be good when he does. So give him 1-2 starts, see what he can do. So he hasn't
gotten a single start yet since his call.
I don't even think he's gotten that at bat yet.
No.
Not even off the bench or anything. So hopefully they do. I mean, we got a few guys up right now that should not be, like Connor Joe, Leo Rivas. Is Patrick Wisdom still up?
He's still up on the team, yeah. They're not getting any playing time, but they're there.
No, but they're there. Well, Connor Joe is getting some playing time a little bit.
Yeah, he said a little bit, yeah.
With some questionable pinch hitting over Luke Raley.
We'll get into that here in a little bit. But no, it's Will Wilson coming up. It's really a no harm, no foul. A lot of Discord online has been talking about, though, why was Colt Emerson not the choice there? And there's a few reasons for that. 1, dude's 20 years old. 2, he has some pretty daunting stats down in AAA. Like his batting average isn't horrible, but his strikeout rate's up, his hard hit rate's down. And also, he has a wrist injury, which sat him for the last few games, and he's finally back in the Tacoma Rainiers lineup tonight. So, with Donovan down on the IL, looks like it's going to be a short term, because if it was long term, they might have had a bigger conversation about Colt coming up. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it was not going to be Colt Emerson after everything we've heard. They're going to give him time, and Donovan, he's not going anywhere. He'll be back once he's done on the IL. And then Colt Emerson would have to go down. So obviously, he's not going to be called up for 1 to 2 weeks just to be sent back down.
You're not going to give
we got to give him playing time consistently if he comes up. So no surprise to me on that one.
When Colt Emerson comes up, he's up for the long haul, unless obviously there's like a slump. We'll call it a Kellenic slump. If there's something like that, we obviously have a conversation about it. But when Colt Emerson comes up, it's going to be very intentional, and it's going to be for the long haul.
Yeah, for sure. Or if the whole infield gets injured, then maybe.
Yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Or post
so.
Well, I mean, JP and Donovan. JP's back now, but yeah. Anyway.
And another news, Casey Legumina, great start to the season, really took a step back his last 3 or 4 outings with the teams. Unfortunately, was DFA'd. He kind of was a mainstay in the bullpen for the last few years, so it's a little disappointing that they had to DFA him. But Alex Hoppe was called up in his place, and then a few days later, we actually were told that Legumina was traded to the Rays for a familiar face in Ty Cummings. who was part of that Rays trade for Randy Arozarena. So definitely interesting. A little bit of early movement in that bullpen with a lot of space. It looks like for someone to make a name for themselves. So who knows who's going to get the next shot? But Alex Hoppe will get his shot here soon.
Yeah, I mean, we need someone to step up in that bullpen. Munoz has not been it so far this year. A lot of guys not performing how we want or expected them to. It's kind of crazy how quick of a turn Legumina had. Like it just fell off all of a
His
sudden.
first, I think it was 6 or 7, 8 starts of the season, or not starts, appearances of the season, he had not given up an earned run. And then the following 3, he gave up 2 each. So, and then 3 on the last one. So, yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing about baseball, though. I mean, you get your opportunities, and if you're missing your opportunities, someone's going to take that spot.
On to
So,
the next guy. Yeah.
we mentioned Munoz really quick too. So obviously Munoz, blew that save the other day. We ended up winning on a walk-off by Josh Naylor. Really good sign. But I was texting one of my buddies, and he said Munoz just wanted to get the win on that. He doesn't care about the save stats anymore. He has
Oh,
three. He has 3 wins this year, and I think only 3 saves. So he's just trying to inflate the win stats. Yeah, let's see.
I see.
Yeah, he has
Okay.
3 wins and
So
3
that's why.
saves in 10 games. So that's all it was. He's just trying to
Oh,
inflate that
okay. Fair
stat a
enough.
little
Fair
bit.
enough.
Maybe an incentive
Yeah.
in the contract we don't know about.
Yeah, more wins gets him paid more. Huh?
Yeah, there you go.
All
But
right.
yeah, I
Fair
mean,
enough.
those are kind of the roster moves. Let's move forward to Dan Wilson and the current manager style that he's bringing to this team right now. You alluded to it earlier of a questionable pinch hitting for arguably our best hitter in our lineup right now, and Nuke Rayleigh, whatever you want to call him. There's been a few interesting calls. What do you have to say about Dan and his managerial style this year so far?
Well, I have a couple points. Overall, so far, I'm not happy with the way he's been managing a lot of aspects of the offense and the bullpen. Um, but saying like to fire him is a bit of an overreaction at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did take us to the NLCS last year.
In a second year as a manager, yeah.
Right, first full year as our manager. So I think a lot of people saying that, I think that's definitely an overreaction at this point. If it continues and we can't turn the season around, then I think that's a different conversation at that time. But
Mm.
I am very frustrated with a lot of things I've seen so far this year. You've said it, Connor Joe being pinch hit or Luke Rayleigh being pinch hit for Connor Joe is craziest thing I've ever seen.
Especially because at that time, Connor Joe didn't have an at bat in almost a week. I mean,
Yeah,
not to mention that he's just not being set up for success.
yeah, I
But
know.
you're taking, I mean, if you were let's say it was Leo Rivas, okay, sure, you know what, you're going to take that gamble. But
Yeah,
Luke Rayleigh, come on.
the hottest hitter on the team. I know that he wants to play into the matchup of a lefty with a righty, but it doesn't matter in that
Mm.
situation. And then even more recent, he pinched hit in the 6th inning with, I believe, no one on, 1 out, Rob Refsnyder for Luke Rayleigh against a lefty.
Mm.
Rob Refsnyder can't hit a freaking beach ball to save his life. And in the 6th inning with no one on. And then guess what happens later in the game? A righty comes up to pitch. Rob Refsnyder is in. 2 men on. Rob Refsnyder, even worse, can't hit right-handed pitching. And now Luke Rayleigh's done for the game. So what are you doing? I do not.
We've talked about this over the course of the podcast. I understand that there's some aspect of a platoon that could work, right? Theoretically, if you look at the stats, yes, so a lefty can hit a righty better, a righty can hit a lefty better. Great. If you have Luke Rayleigh batting 300 on the year so far, and mind you, he's had a few opportunities against righties and still has been okay. Like he's fought, I don't know. Like Luke Rayleigh finds a way, right? Whether it's a bunt base hit down the third base line, whether it's getting, tucking his elbow when a pitch is inside and getting that hit by pitch. He's had more success than Refsnyder, and you can't just play the platoon every single time.
Yeah.
So it's definitely frustrating to see that.
Yeah, that's what's mind blowing to me. I mean, I understand the matchups like you said, but Refsnyder has 1 hit on the season.
Mm-hmm.
I know we brought him in here to be that platoon to hit lefties. Doesn't matter. You can't hit them. You can't hit anything. So until then, you have to play the hot hand. Luke Rayleigh, I don't care.
Mhm.
You just leave him in. So
I remember when I played in Unselect as well as my high school team, they always said the hot bat will find their way into the lineup.
yeah,
No matter what
exactly.
position, they will find their way into the lineup. And guess who's the hot bat right now?
Yeah,
Luke
Luke
Rayleigh,
Rayleigh.
dominant
Yep.
Canzone. It's not Rob Refschneider and Connor Joe.
Yeah, no, I never think it will be. And yeah, exactly. But Dan Wilson just seems to not care about who's hitting hot. He did matchups, and but he'll still put Luke Rayleigh on the bench. I don't get it
Mhm.
at all.
Well, there's been some speculation online too that Dan might not be the one behind all these decisions. There might be some
Ooh,
some push from the higher ups, such as Jerry DePoto, Justin
wow.
Hollander, who are both very number focused guys. You know, the 54% comment, the you're looking for on base percentage rather than power and average. You know, there's a lot of these things that kind of just don't sit right. And I feel like Dan Wilson might be wanting to leave Luke Rayleigh because Dan Wilson played in an era where when you were the starter, you were the starter. You know, you might have
Yeah.
had an off day from time to time, maybe an
You,
injury, or you were sick, so you wanted to sit a day. But no matter lefty, righty, switch hitter, it does not
yeah.
matter who is pitching against you. You were in the lineup 150 plus games.
Yeah.
So in this new era of baseball, we're so fixated on the numbers, on the splits, and unfortunately, it's not foolproof.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. It doesn't make sense why Dan Wilson would keep doing the same thing, and especially as him, like I see him more as like a player's coach than a
Hmm.
like numbers guy or whatever. And but I don't see why Depoto or Hollander would be pushing him to do that because Dan Wilson's the one in charge of the lineups. He's the one calling play by play. So
But
I
ultimately,
mean,
the one
maybe
signing his check is DePoto.
yeah. I
Or
mean,
maybe
maybe
even
behind
Stanton. I mean, we don't know the logistics, but
yeah,
theoretically, I mean, there's a chain of command in
yeah,
there somewhere, and
yeah.
Dan's not at the top of that pole.
No, you're right. Maybe behind the scenes, before the game, after the game, whatever, they're telling him, "Hey, this is a game plan, and you're going to stick to it."
Mm.
I, so,
And
regardless,
especially because a guy like Refschneider was paid $6.5 million
yeah,
to hit left-handed pitching.
yeah, but he can't. Can't hit lefties. Can't hit anything. Can't hit slow pitch. Can't hit t-ball. Doesn't matter, dude. This guy
Dude,
sucks.
I'm Rob Refschneider. We really hope you turn it around because you've shown that you can be a major league ball player and at a successful rate. But his only hit currently, I believe, still is that home run.
The home run, yeah,
And
it
he's
is.
played some great defense. I'll give him that. So maybe a defensive
Yeah,
substitution late in the game. But I'm sorry if a righty comes in out of the bullpen a lefty comes out of the bullpen in the sixth, you're not going to come in until that lefty's still pitching in the seventh or the eighth or the ninth.
yeah, exactly.
So
I agree 100%. And if
yeah.
if Luke Rayleigh is hitting against
Mhm.
like a righty, like say they start a lefty, I mean, and
Mhm.
Luke Rayleigh can't, like 3 at bats, 2 at bats, and done nothing, or consistent like
Mhm.
multiple games shown that he can't hit. Okay, then fine, start him
Sure.
to
Yeah.
that.
Give him. Yeah.
But again, if he's hot and he's putting the ball in play, driving the ball both sides or both, pitchers. Then
Mhm.
he's got to stay in. And if on the other side of that too is if Rob Refsnyder's doing nothing when he does get those opportunities like he has been, then sorry, bud, but you're just going to be
At
on the
some
bench
point.
until he needs to
Yeah.
sit or whatever. So
At some point, you got to tell Rob like, hey man, it's just not happening. Go and let's send you down for a little bit, or let's
yeah,
let's get some like live action in
those
game. Or like BP experience, like with runners on and all that. What do they call it? Simulated game, something like
simulated,
that
yeah,
for the time
something,
being.
dude. He can go spend some
But
time with his new baby. That's fine.
yeah, I mean, hey, maybe he needs a little bit longer. Maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, it's
Maybe I
it's
don't
it's
know,
definitely been
but
frustrating. And
it's
then
rough.
we haven't even talked about Dan's bullpen decision yet and his bullpen management. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
there's been
too.
times where we're seeing our high leverage arms in the earlier innings, and you know what? You might need to do that against a good lineup like the Padres, maybe the top of the order of the Athletics. But then when it comes down to a one-run game, almost as half the games that team have this year, we're
Hmm.
not able to. We're throwing Cooper Criswell to close out a game, and you know what? He's had his successes, but guess who the guy should be in those scenarios? It should be Spire. It should be
Hmm.
Brash. Definitely should be Munoz. So
Yeah.
There's definitely been some interesting things, and obviously, this is a new team, a lot of new players, a lot of new faces, and a lot of new dynamics. So hopefully, the kinks will be worked out throughout the season. But man, this early on and being 11-15, there's got to be a change at some point.
Yeah, for sure. And the point of the bullpen too, our offense has not been playing great at all and is not
Mhm.
reliable. So to go to our high leverage arms earlier in the game, knowing that, hey, our offense uh, hasn't scored a run the past like 3 games, not that bad, but
No, I
we're
mean
not getting
you're
any
not too far
offense,
off, genuinely.
and if it's a close game, we need these guys for the back uh, end of the game, for the eighth and ninth, because you're not like our offense is not going to be reliable to keep us in the ball game. So
I
yeah,
was really quick going to look it up. We've talked about Dan Wilson's things. Let's move forward to the offense and kind of the struggles that we've been facing there. I want to look really quick and see if I can find the our runners in scoring position batting average.
God, we cannot hit with runners in scoring position. We can't hit with runners on base. It's crazy.
Let's see.
To the
Currently,
point
as
of,
of
go ahead first.
yeah, so as of late April, we're at April 24th right now. Seattle Mariners are currently hitting 214 with runners in scoring position.
That's rough. Got to be
Yeah,
better than that.
and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was just inflated because of the walk off we had the other day,
Hmm.
and whatnot. So it's
I'm
definitely
pretty
been
sure it was
frustrating. I
worse than
mean,
that earlier in the season. Yeah.
yeah, sir. It's the thing is, like, that's one thing this Mariners offense is missing right now. If you take a look at the whole team's slugging percentage, the whole team's OPS, these are stats that are kind of meant to set apart that next level player. Um, it's we haven't like everyone's subpar right now. I mean, everyone, the sluggings are in the 300-400s. OPSs are all under 700. It looks like in our lineup right now. Like I'm going to the
Hmm.
lineup today. They're currently playing against the Cardinals, but there's not a single OPS other than a Rosa Reyna and Rayleigh. Uh, okay, and Canzone that's above 800. But I mean, the big three, Julio,
Yeah.
Naylor, and Cal. Mind you, they've had a good series here recently, but
Yeah.
they're not finding the big hits when it's needed, and it's been really
Right.
frustrating to watch.
It has been. Cal's finally getting some power, it looks like, which is good. But,
Yeah, three home
I,
runs in a row,
yeah, I think
3 games in a row, I
the,
should say.
yeah, I think this lineup needs to be changed, shaken up a little bit. I mean, I think they need to separate, um, the big three a little more for now until those
Mhm.
guys can start hitting, and then, put them back. But I think they got to spread out
Well,
the lineup a little more.
and I was thinking the same thing. It's kind of difficult because obviously these are the guys you're paying. These are the guys that you want to believe in, and you don't want to move someone around to discourage him. But then again,
Hmm.
this is a business in a lot of ways, right? So what
Hmm.
are you going to do when we're 40 games into the season and these guys still haven't taken off? I mean, at what point do you shuffle the lineup a little bit? At what point
Yeah.
is a Rosa Reyna batting second and Luke Rayleigh batting third?
Hmm.
At what point do we kind of take a look and be like, hey, does Josh Naylor need to sit a day a week just until he can, really start feeling things going? Same with Cal and Julio, but I don't know. So,
Yeah.
what do you think that timeline looks like, and what do you think the Mariners do to remedy the offensive struggles that we've been having early in this season?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You don't want to, do it too early and like discourage them or think like, hey, you have no faith in us. Like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
But that to the other point of that is you don't want to wait till it's too late. We're what right now? What's our record? 11-15
11 and
or
15, yeah,
yeah. Okay, that's not like it could be worse, but also
of
if
course.
you just keep things the same and then a few more weeks go by, and now we're 8 games under 500. We're 10 games under 500. It starts to get harder and harder to come back from that. So I think,
And we're 16% of the way through the season.
yeah.
I mean,
So I think right now is the perfect time to do that. I think we should have already done it probably last week, honestly, or like the beginning of this past week. I think is probably when we should have done it after the A's, either after the Padres series or the A's series. I mean,
mhm.
like I think we got to break up those guys. If Rayleigh has to hit third right now, perfect. If Rosarena is hot, okay, he's gonna hit second. Lead off. Well, Donovan's down now, so it won't be him. But
Yeah, it'll be JP. I'm not even mad at Rayleigh in the
JP.
leadoff position. Not gonna lie.
Maybe, yeah, or Randy even in the leadoff position.
Yeah,
Maybe you go
we had lots of
Randy,
experience doing
Rayleigh.
that last year.
Yeah, like what I would do is like say Randy, Luke Rayleigh a second, hitting second, Cal at third, fourth, um, maybe Canzone, fifth, Julio, sixth. Uh, who am I forgetting?
Naylor
Maybe, yeah, probably Naylor then, and
and Cole
then
Young at 7.
yeah, Cole Young at seven, and then eight, um, whoever's left. So
Yeah,
I don't know,
Rivas
or even or
and fill in
separate
the
maybe
blank.
Julio like yeah fifth, yeah, or I don't
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
some set of
at
that,
some
but just
point,
kind of break those guys up and get something going, and then once the offense, if we can find some traction, then maybe work those guys back up to their normal spots. But
I agree. I
yeah,
mean, this lineup on paper looks scary, right? I mean, if I was a pitcher and
mm-hmm.
I saw Cal, Julio, Naylor, and Randy Arozarena as 2 through 5, I mean, I'm trembling. I mean, honestly, like I'm going up there knowing that hey, I might have to give up a run or two to get through them, and then the next 2 innings that maybe I can breeze by, and then battle it again in the third. But
Mm-hmm.
the way that they're hitting right now has just been really frustrating. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, they're all coming off of really good homestands where they all hit well over 300 on that homestand. Slugging still down, like I mentioned, but it's a step in the right direction. So you're saying, maybe make a change now. I say this is the last road trip, and after this road trip, if things are still not really changing, if we're not seeing those numbers bumping up as they should, then I definitely think it's worth a strong change in lineup because
Yeah,
Dan, we can't be losing much more of these games. All these games matter come September.
mm-hmm.
So
They do, and there's been games where we've been blown out, but there's been a lot of close games too that we should have won, or that we could have won, and we didn't. It's frustrating to see. I mean, yeah, if we don't win this series against the Cardinals, then something has to change. I think in terms of lineup, something.
well, the Mariners currently are 3-6 in one-run games. Obviously, that walk-off by Naylor on Wednesday, is that third win. So 2-6
Two and
before that in
six
one-run games.
is not
Um,
okay.
we've talked about the bullpen decisions that have been made and the struggles that Munoz, as well as some of
Mm-hmm.
the newer guys in the bullpen have faced. The offense has got to figure things out. If we could get even, I'd say 4 guys hot at the same time. I'd say we probably have 3 right now, and Randy, Canzone, and Luke Rayleigh. But
Mm-hmm.
if we can get 4 or 5 guys hot, this lineup's going to be dangerous, and we know this, right? This is nothing new. These guys have track records. They've been successful in the past. It's frustrating to see a team coming off an ALCS appearance with World Series aspirations, going out and making the trade, signing the extension, and still not getting the production we need. We
Yeah,
at this point we should have at least 16 wins at this point in the season. We should be 16-10 in my opinion. That's a good spot
yeah,
to be in at this point in the season.
yeah. 100%. It is a good spot. And we could have been there, but we were not.
Hmm.
It should be nothing new to Mariners fans. I mean, of the current like team. No, it's not to be expected. But in the long run, if you've been a Mariners fan, you know,
And that's why when you look up Talking Tridents, it says 2 delusional Mariners fans because we still, after all these years, still have so much
uh-huh.
fucking hope that we at some point will win a
It
World
has
Series
it
and
has to
we'll be
work.
that team year after year.
Yeah, consistency is not the Mariners' specialty.
No,
Rob
definitely not.
Refsnyder is a typical Mariners signing, and
Oh my goodness.
or I should say, a typical outcome to a Mariners free agent signing. So I'm not surprised, but
You know
just
what? Maybe
disappointed.
we need to get a Rob Refsnyder shirt or jersey or something like that, and like
Do the
ceremonially burn
jersey.
it, and
Yeah,
then maybe at that point, all bad omens will be free, and
I
the
think
the
so.
Etsy witch will be a part of it, and Humpy will show up at some point in this whole ordeal, and then all of a sudden, Mariners are winning 20 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we need at this point. We need a big winning streak to get back on track, which is
And we've
unlikely.
we've seen the team do it the last few weeks,
We
or not weeks, sorry, last few
Cheers.
years.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there was that one year. What was it? Was it 16 or 18 in a row? The exact number eludes
Hmm.
me right now. And then obviously last year we had that run where we went like 22-4 or something like that.
Yeah,
So it can happen. I mean,
it
with
can
this pitching
happen.
staff, anything's possible.
Hmm.
By
Yeah,
the
I mean,
way, I just gotta say it right now, Josh Naylor just stole second base. So all
woohoo.
is right in the world
Nice.
again.
He's getting
He's got to get
That's
that
good. He just
2020 season again.
yep. He just has to start stealing bases again, and
Yep.
his offense will follow.
Cal Raleigh, even mind you, shout out Cal Raleigh, stole third base the other day. Big man can still
Yeah,
run, so
I saw
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, moving forward to this, I think we have we have the Cardinals and then the Twins, and I can't remember the series after that. It's going to be these are the games we got to win. These are the teams we don't
Yeah.
face a lot. The climate's warmer on the East Coast, so hopefully we can get a little bit more balls flying out of stadiums, get some confidence back in these guys. Hopefully Dan Wilson can make a few good calls and then figure out, what, hey, let's not do the platoon 100% of the time. So
Yeah, right. Seriously, at some point it's got to click. It's got to make
you
sense.
you would think so. I mean,
Yeah, but apparently
but
not. Well, the problem is once you steer away from it, then it doesn't work because you're not consistent. You have to stay
naturally, right?
consistent to get to the numbers that are being projected.
What's
Right?
going to happen is watch. We're going to be consistent the whole year. Get to the last 10 games, then go on a 10-game winning streak and miss the playoff by one game. So,
Yeah, they like to do that. Yep,
oh man,
probably nightmares. But we also have to stop hitting home runs with no one on base. I mean,
yeah,
if we start, like you said, if the balls start to fly, we gotta have runners on base. At least
hmm
someone. Come on. I mean, these guys.
Call
We're a
of
home run
Cal's
hitting
3 home
team, and
runs.
yeah, solos.
All 3 of his home runs were solos,
Yeah, they don't hit home runs when anyone's on base. Only
yeah.
solos. That's it. We could
And we
have
have people
three.
on base often.
Yeah,
We're missing that big hit. We've talked about it before.
yeah,
We're missing that big hit. Even if it's a
yeah.
double, I'll take a double down the line. Guy on
Hmm.
first and second, maybe they both score. That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. And it, we could hit 3 home runs in a game, but we still lose because we only scored 3 runs. If we could have at least one of those home runs be with someone on base, or obviously we'd like to have at least 2 of those home runs be with someone on base, is like, 2 out of 3 home runs with someone on base is perfect.
Well, I think we should wrap it up with this. The one silver lining I've seen with this offense, and the reason I think this offense is going to take a turn and is going to really develop into the offense that we have come to expect. The bottom of the ninth, Nick Kurtz just hit a solo home run against Munoz. It's tie game 4-4. Everyone's a little bit drained, like, oh my gosh, are we going to blow another one, right? Leo Rivas chokes up on the bat a little bit extra. Sorry, Leo, we talked crap about you earlier, but you have some baseball skills still.
Yeah.
Chokes up on the bat a little bit, pops it right up the middle, right? JP comes up, double play. We're thinking, oh man, here we go again. Here comes extras, and guess what? We have no one in the bullpen. Alex Hoppy I think it was Alex Hoppy and Casey Legumina right before he got DFA'd were the only 2 guys that were in that bullpen, right? And then guess what happened? Cal Raleigh single opposite way, Julio single up the middle, and Josh Naylor single the other way. So this team is very resilient. They have all the skills necessary to play the small ball. If we can play small ball and hit the home runs at the same time,
Yeah.
that's all.
Recipe
That's
for
all I'm going to
success.
say.
That's all you
Yep.
have to do. I agree 100%, dude. Corny. But yeah, I mean, 100%. You have to play small ball when it matters. And then you have to, with a lineup like us, we have to get a big hit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's true.
that's how it's done.
Well, with that, hopefully Mariners gets lots of big hits here when we're in St. Louis as well as Minnesota. Currently, the Mariners are winning 1-0, so let's hope that they can hold that off, at least to win another one-run game. But thank you guys again for watching. Thank you to all who participated in the giveaway. Again, we hit 100 subscribers. We're at 103 right now, which is awesome. We really
104,
appreciate
actually.
everyone watching these videos. Oh, it's 104 now?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Let's go. We really appreciate everyone watching these videos. Again, we do this for fun. This is a great way to talk to other fellow Mariners fans. So please let us know what you think in the comments. Is Dan Wilson making the right calls? Could he be doing some things differently? If you stand by the platoon, please tell me why. Hopefully the Mariners can go out and win a few series here on the road.
For sure. Thanks, guys. See you next time.